Have you ever been disrespected by someone and you felt completely powerless? Maybe it was a rude comment, an unfair accusation, or someone just treating you like you don't matter. It's frustrating, and it can leave you feeling angry or hurt. But what if there was a way to handle this situation without losing your cool or letting it ruin your day? What if there was a way to protect your peace no matter how others behave? The good news is there is a way. The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, faced disrespect, insults, and difficult people every day. Yet they managed to stay calm, strong, and in control of their emotions. They didn't allow the disrespect of others to throw them off course. Instead, they used simple, powerful techniques that helped them stay focused on what truly matters: their own actions, their own mindset, and their own peace of mind. In today's video, I'm going to share 7 Stoic strategies that you can use to handle people who don't respect you. These aren't just abstract ideas. These are practical, actionable tips you can start using right now to keep your composure, set boundaries, and protect your mental well-being. Whether it's a coworker, a friend, or even a family member who disrespects you, these 7 ways will help you deal with it in a calm and empowering way. If you've ever felt disrespected and unsure how to respond, stay tuned. These Stoic principles will show you how to rise above the negativity and handle difficult people with strength and wisdom. So, let's dive right in. Number 1. Recognize what you can control. Have you ever felt frustrated by someone's disrespect? Maybe it was a rude comment, an unfair criticism, or someone just ignoring your boundaries. It's easy to feel like you have to react, like you need to defend yourself or set them straight. But here's a powerful Stoic lesson. You can't control other people's behavior, you can only control your response. Think about it. How many times have you felt upset because someone didn't treat you the way you wanted? Maybe they were rude, or they didn't listen when you spoke. In that moment, it feels like their actions are completely out of your control. But here's the truth. They are. You can't change how someone behaves or force them to treat you with respect. What you can change is how you react to them. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, understood this well. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled over an entire empire, faced constant disrespect and challenges from others. But instead of letting it upset him, he reminded himself that his peace of mind was something only he could control. He wrote in his journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This means that no matter what happens around you, you have the power to choose how to respond. The first step in handling disrespect is realizing that it's not your job to control others. Their actions are reflections of their own thoughts and feelings, not yours. You don't have to take responsibility for their behavior. When you focus only on what you can control, your own thoughts and actions, you free yourself from the emotional weight of others' disrespect. For example, let's say someone interrupts you in a meeting. It's frustrating, right? But instead of reacting with anger, pause for a moment. Remind yourself that you can't control their interruption, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to stay calm, politely ask for your turn to speak, or simply let it go. By focusing on your own response, you shift your power back to yourself. You stop letting others dictate how you feel. Remember, the Stoic principle here is simple. Focus on what's within your control and let everything else go. Number 2. Maintain your inner calm. When someone disrespects you, it's easy to get caught up in the moment and react emotionally. You might feel angry, frustrated, or hurt. But Stoicism teaches us that the most powerful thing we can do is to stay calm. Reacting with anger or frustration often makes the situation worse, not better. The key is to remember that you can control your own emotions, even if you can't control how others behave. Think about Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers. Despite being the emperor of Rome, he faced constant disrespect and criticism from political rivals, soldiers, and even his own family. Yet, he didn't allow this to disturb his peace. Instead, he practiced self-restraint. No matter what happened around him, he kept his emotions in check and focused on what he could control, his own actions and thoughts. When someone disrespects you, the first thing to do is pause. Take a deep breath. Give yourself a moment to process what just happened before reacting. This pause gives you the space to make a choice. You can either respond with anger, which will only make things worse, or you can choose calmness. Staying calm in the face of disrespect shows strength, not weakness. One of the most powerful tools in Stoicism is what's called inner citadel. The idea that your mind is like a fortress that can't be easily shaken. Think of your emotions as something that others can't control, no matter what they do. They might throw insults at you, but they can't make you angry unless you allow it. By keeping your emotions steady, you maintain your inner peace. The Stoics believed that when you stay calm, you don't just protect yourself from the harm others try to cause, but you also gain a sense of control. Instead of reacting emotionally and potentially escalating the situation, you maintain your dignity. This shows others that you are not easily rattled and that you are in charge of your own emotions, no matter what happens. So, the next time someone disrespects you, try to stay calm. Take a deep breath, think before you respond, and remember that your peace is more important than their negativity. The Stoic approach is not about avoiding conflict, but about responding with wisdom and self-control. Number 3. Reframe the situation. When someone disrespects you, it's easy to get upset and take it personally. You might feel hurt, angry, or frustrated. But here's a powerful Stoic technique. Reframe the situation. Reframing means changing the way you look at something so it no longer has the same negative effect on you. Take Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher, for example. One day, he was insulted by a man who tried to make him angry. Instead of reacting with anger or hurt, Epictetus thought to himself, "This person is showing me their character, not mine." By doing this, he was able to look at the insult differently. Instead of seeing it as a personal attack, he saw it as a reflection of the other person's lack of self-control or respect. This shift in perspective helped him stay calm and not let the insult affect him. You can do the same thing. When someone disrespects you, try to reframe it in a way that takes the power away from their words or actions. Instead of thinking, "This person is trying to hurt me," you can think, "This person is showing me something about themselves." When you do this, you stop focusing on how their disrespect affects you and start focusing on what it says about them. It's not about you, it's about them. Reframing helps you detach emotionally from the situation. You stop reacting with anger or frustration and start thinking more clearly. It gives you control over your feelings. Instead of letting someone else's words or actions decide how you feel, you decide how to feel about the situation. By practicing reframing, you also stop giving other people the power to control your emotions. You take that power back. Their disrespect no longer defines your day or your mood. You decide how to respond, and the Stoic way is to respond with calmness, clarity, and strength. So, next time someone disrespects you, try to reframe the situation. Think about it as a reflection of their character, not yours. This small change in perspective can make a big difference in how you handle disrespect and in how you protect your own peace of mind. Number 4. Don't take it personally. When someone disrespects you, it's easy to feel hurt or offended. But in Stoicism, we're taught not to take things personally. In fact, one of the most important Stoic principles is understanding that people's actions are often about them, not you. Seneca, a great Stoic philosopher, once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This means that most of the pain we feel comes from how we interpret the situation in our minds, rather than the situation itself. When someone disrespects you, you might immediately think, "What did I do wrong? Why are they treating me this way?" But this way of thinking often leads to unnecessary suffering. The reality is that the person's behavior is a reflection of their own state of mind, not your worth. For example, imagine someone at work cuts you off during a meeting or ignores your opinion. It's easy to feel insulted and start questioning yourself, thinking, "Am I not good enough? Why don't they respect me?" But the truth is, their actions may have nothing to do with you. Maybe they're feeling stressed or insecure, and they're projecting those feelings onto you. Or maybe they're just having a bad day. Their behavior is about them, not you. When you stop taking things personally, you give yourself the freedom to respond in a healthier way. You don't allow their disrespect to affect your mood or sense of self-worth. Instead of getting upset or defensive, you can choose to calmly accept that their actions are beyond your control. The key here is to remember that no one else has the power to make you feel disrespected unless you let them. In the Stoic mindset, you take responsibility for your own emotions. You decide how you feel regardless of how others act. If you can learn to let go of the need for others to treat you a certain way, you'll find that disrespect has less power over you. So next time someone disrespects you, take a step back and remind yourself, this is about them, not me. By practicing this mindset, you'll find that you can let go of negative feelings more easily and focus on maintaining your own peace. Number 5. Set boundaries. Setting boundaries is a powerful way to handle people who don't respect you. Think about a time when someone disrespected you. Maybe they interrupted you while you were speaking, or maybe they didn't listen to your opinions. This can feel frustrating and hurtful, but the good news is you have control over how you respond. In Stoic philosophy, one of the key principles is to protect your peace. Part of doing that is making sure you set clear boundaries with people who don't treat you well. Boundaries are simply limits you set for yourself and others about what's acceptable behavior. They are like invisible lines that protect your time, energy, and mental well-being. When someone disrespects you, it's important to stand up for yourself calmly and confidently. This doesn't mean you need to be aggressive or rude, but you do need to communicate that you won't tolerate disrespect. For example, if a coworker interrupts you every time you speak, you could say something like, "I'd like to finish my point before we continue. Please let me speak without interruption." By saying this, you are clearly stating your boundary. You're telling them that interrupting you is not okay, and you expect to be treated with respect. Setting boundaries can be uncomfortable at first, especially if you're not used to speaking up for yourself. It might feel awkward or even make you worried about what others will think. But remember, the Stoics believed that we should not care about what others think when it comes to our values and principles. If you allow people to disrespect you without standing up for yourself, you're teaching them that it's okay to cross your boundaries. Over time, people will begin to respect your limits if you consistently enforce them. Boundaries also help you avoid unnecessary drama and conflict. When people know that you won't tolerate disrespect, they are less likely to push you around. In fact, they'll start to respect you more, because respect often starts with clear communication. Don't be afraid to set those boundaries. They are not about being harsh, but about protecting your peace and showing others that you value yourself. In the long run, setting boundaries helps you maintain control over your relationships and your life. It's a simple but powerful tool that allows you to stand strong, even in the face of disrespect. So remember, you deserve respect, and you have every right to set boundaries to protect that. Number 6. Let go of the need for approval. One of the hardest things to deal with when someone disrespects you is the feeling that you need their approval. This could be from a friend, family member, coworker, or even a stranger. When people treat us badly, we often feel hurt because we care about what they think. We might feel like we need their validation to feel good about ourselves. This is a natural feeling, but it's also something that can make us very vulnerable to disrespect. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "How much better to rely on yourself than to depend on the approval of others." What Seneca meant was that when you rely on other people's opinions to define your worth, you are giving them power over how you feel. This can lead to a constant cycle of needing approval, which makes you easy to control. Instead, focus on valuing yourself regardless of what others think. Imagine you're at work, and a colleague ignores your ideas or talks down to you. If you care too much about their approval, you might start doubting your abilities or feeling less confident. But if you don't rely on their approval, you can see their behavior for what it is, disrespectful and not a reflection of your worth. This shift in thinking helps you detach from their negativity. You no longer need their approval to feel good about yourself. It's important to remember that you don't need to be liked by everyone. Not everyone will respect you, and that's okay. Everyone has their own issues, and sometimes people act out of insecurity or jealousy. When you stop needing others' approval, you gain more control over your own feelings and reactions. Instead of focusing on how others treat you, you can focus on your own growth and values. The key here is to realize that your self-worth comes from within, not from external sources. The more you practice this, the less power people will have over your emotions. When someone disrespects you, it will hurt less because you won't be relying on their opinion to define your value. Instead, you'll know that you are enough just as you are, regardless of what others think. Number 7. Practice compassion. When someone disrespects you, it can be hard not to feel angry or upset. But Stoicism teaches us that the best way to handle these situations is not with more anger or frustration, but with compassion. Compassion doesn't mean letting people walk all over you. It means understanding that their disrespect might not have anything to do with you. Often, people act out because of their own struggles, insecurities, or unhappiness. When you realize this, it becomes easier to not take their behavior personally. One of the greatest Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." What he meant by this is that if someone is being rude or disrespectful, responding in the same way only lowers you to their level. Instead, you can choose to rise above it. You don't need to meet negativity with more negativity. Instead, choose kindness and understanding. This doesn't mean you have to put up with poor behavior, but it does mean you respond with grace, rather than anger. For example, imagine you're dealing with a colleague at work who keeps interrupting you during meetings. It's easy to get frustrated and fire back with harsh words. But what if instead you quietly ask, "I'd like to finish my thought. Could you give me a moment?" By staying calm and using a kind, respectful tone, you not only maintain your own dignity, but you also show that you won't be dragged into the negativity. This can often disarm the person who is being disrespectful because it puts them in a position where their bad behavior is no longer being fed. Another aspect of compassion is realizing that everyone is fighting their own battles. Maybe the person being rude is having a tough day, dealing with stress, or feeling insecure about something. By practicing empathy, you understand that their behavior is more about them than about you. This helps you detach from their actions and not let them hurt you. In the end, practicing compassion allows you to protect your own peace. You stop letting others dictate how you feel and instead, you choose to respond with kindness and understanding. This doesn't mean tolerating disrespect, but it means handling the situation with a mindset that is calm, wise, and above the negativity. This Stoic approach will not only help you deal with disrespect, but also help you become a stronger and more peaceful person. In conclusion, handling people who don't respect you doesn't have to be a struggle. By applying Stoic principles, you can maintain your peace and dignity, no matter what others throw your way. The key is to focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions. When someone disrespects you, remember that their behavior is a reflection of them, not you. Don't take it personally, and don't let their actions disturb your inner calm. One of the most powerful lessons from Stoicism is setting clear boundaries. You don't have to tolerate disrespect, and it's okay to stand up for yourself in a calm and assertive way. At the same time, let go of the need for others' approval. When you stop depending on external validation, the opinions of others lose their power over you. This allows you to walk through life with confidence, knowing your worth isn't defined by how others treat you. Finally, practicing compassion can be a game changer. People who disrespect others often have their own struggles, and responding with kindness instead of anger can disarm negativity. By showing empathy, you not only protect yourself from their toxic energy, but you also create space for a more positive interaction. Remember, you have the power to control how you respond to any situation. By embracing these Stoic principles, you'll become stronger, more resilient, and more at peace with yourself. So, the next time you face disrespect, take a step back, breathe, and handle it with grace. Keep growing and stay true to yourself. That's the path to lasting respect and inner peace.